Already a month into 2026, the new year showing promise both for personal growth and growth in hope for the first-time homeowner. WGEM's Haley Adams spoke to local real estate experts to discuss the outlook for the 2026 housing market and things to look out for before house hunting.
When the new generation of first-time homebuyers begin to shop, they often compare it to the value of their parents' homes when they first bought them.
Well, that's a big shock to know that, when your parents bought this home for this price, now you're paying almost twice as much for the same home.
Beyond the shock of payments being different than older generations, there are often reasons that factor into those prices.
Everything that happened with COVID led us to higher rates and an inventory issue. And so to talk about that payment shock, you would have to go back to, COVID, the government buying trillions of mortgage bonds to lower interest rates.
First-time homebuyers are now facing better conditions for buying homes and have options for help.
I think that the good news for the first-time buyers are the grants. And I've had buyers who've used all of them.
These grants are income-based, looking into many things like credit, assets, and other items. But for 2026, experts say that it's looking up.
Rates stabilizing, housing inventory freeing up, and hopefully home prices stabilizing as well will be huge for first-time home buyers. And like you touched on, there are so many grants and programs.
Haley Adams, WGEM News.
And Swick says grants such as Home Start, which gives a client $15,000, can be very helpful for first-time buyers. Along with grants and interest rates forecasted to stabilize, more houses are also going on the market, giving buyers more options.